This is also new. This is also new. She was y'all have to realize this woman was interrogated by police on multiple times. She had multiple interviews. Before this day, she had multiple interviews, including the ones with the media. At no point in time did this woman mention calling Maddie's phone. I even referred to it in one of my videos. Why didn't she call Maddie's phone? So now we're hearing that she did call Maddie's phone, but she forgot she had it with her.
I'm the first in line. The cars behind me already have children. They're full. They're waiting for me to leave.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of jump ahead. Did Madeline ever complain to you about believing that Stefan had taken her Christmas money?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Christmas money went missing. And we were both...
It's funny that when hit with evidence or when hit with something that Jenn Soto knows that the police couldn't possibly know unless they had the information, she's able to answer a question. Her memory is phenomenal. But notice that the police had to ask the question.
I don't even know how to say this. We had collected all of her envelopes with Christmas money and consolidated into one. I'll put all her money into one.
Yep.
And then I said, I will put this somewhere safe. And I thought I had put it in my nightstand. A few days later comes around, whatever. We start looking for it or asking for it or something like that, and we can't find it. We can't find it at all.
So let me just narrow it down. Did she accuse Stefan of taking it?
I'm not sure if she did directly. We both had the suspicion, but we're like, no, could he have? No, I don't think so. But I eventually found that money.
Okay.
In my opinion, Jen, you seem to give him a lot of leeway. You seem to give him a lot of benefit of the doubt.
I was just going to have it the mystery end. All right. So you just started this job at Disney Coronado Springs like a week or two earlier, is that right?
Yes.
And your sister and other family members would help with Maddie getting to school because of your job?
Yes, my mom and my sister, yes.
Okay. Why is it that now Stefan on February 26th is coming up to help as opposed to any of your family members helping?
I asked that same damn question. Because I said, if Stefan does not live with Jenn anymore, he's back and forth, visiting. So if he doesn't live there anymore, why did you call him to come help you? If the family members were already helping you with Madeline, why did you call Stefan to come help you? I asked that question. And now the police are asking her that question now.
And getting Madeline to school.
I had asked for him to come and help me because I think I was working a lot of night shifts or like really late shifts. And I just wanted the opportunity to see Maddie, because I wanted to spend more time with my daughter throughout the week while I was working, versus had she had stayed at my mom's, I wouldn't have seen her all week.
Okay.
So that was just me wanting to see her and spend time with her.
Did Madeline?
What? I don't understand what the fuck she just said. How is that making sense? What she just said. As to the reason why she didn't ask the family to keep Madeline this time. Or to take Madeline to school this time. When she had already been doing it. So she wanted more time with her daughter because she had been working nights? What? Did that make sense to y'all? Because that didn't make sense to me. Oh, hell no, I gotta listen to this again because that didn't make sense to me.
But I had put it in my nightstand. A few days later comes around, whatever. We start looking for it or asking for it or something like that, and we can't find it. We can't find it at all.
So let me just narrow it down. Did she accuse Stefan of taking it?
I'm not sure if she did directly. We both had the suspicion, but we're like, no, could he have? No, I don't think so. But I eventually found that money.
What the fuck am I supposed to be saying right now? Like, what am I supposed to be saying? What the hell am I supposed to be saying right now? You said, Miss Jenn Soto, that the reason why you did not ask your mother or sister who had already been helping you take Maddie to school, the reason why you didn't ask them to take Maddie to school, you're saying it's because you have been working a bunch of night shifts or late shifts, and you wanted the opportunity to see Maddie. You wanted to be able to spend time with Maddie. And you're saying that Maddie would have had to stay over at their house, so you wouldn't have been able to see her, right? So no.
Like, because I wanted to spend more time with my daughter throughout the week while I was working, versus had she had stayed at my mom's, I wouldn't have seen her all week.
Okay.
So that was just me wanting to see her and spend time with her.
Did Madeline stay at your mom's house fairly frequently?
Every few weekends here and there, like just for the weekend kind of thing.
So like if she described it to her friends as like her second home and like kind of offer up it's better jacuzzi and pool, does that sound like that's the place?
Yes.
Where does Madeline sleep when she's over at your mom's?
She will sleep in bed with my mom.
Okay. Did she ever have sleepovers? Like have friends come over and sleep over?
Slumber parties, no.
Did she ever go and attend any?
No.
Is there any particular reason? I mean, she's a 12-year-old girl on the cusp of being 13.
Yeah, I've been very uncomfortable with sleepovers just because I know what can happen.
Hold on. Hold the hell on. Okay. You can't let this 12-year-old baby have sleepovers with her friends who were girls, because her best friend was a girl. She can't have a sleepover with her girl friends, but she can sleep in the bed with Stefan? Huh? What the fuck you mean you know what can happen?
Anything can happen in a sleepover.
Well, then you can be the host house like we kind of were. You never hosted any sleepovers for her friends?
For her friends.
Did she ask about it?
Yeah, she did ask.
Was it probably a source of contention or arguments?
It was, I guess what was the source of argument is her and she wanted to really sleep over her best friend's house, and I just kept saying, no, you never know what could happen. I don't know the dad, I don't know the brother, I don't know anybody there. Like,
you don't know the dad and you don't know the brother, so apparently you don't know fucking men. Because you thought you knew Stefan too. Fuck out of here.
I don't know what could happen to you, so just afraid of her getting assaulted.
Okay.
So you afraid of her getting assaulted over at someone else's house? The detective was saying, well, you had the summer party at your house. You go into why you don't want her at somebody else's house. You didn't go into why you didn't want them at your house. Oh, hell no.
Did Madeline do her own laundry?
Yeah.
Did she cook for herself?
I was teaching her how to make a few things, so I mean, yeah, she could, I guess.
Okay. What's her normal routine for getting ready for bed?
We give her her meds.
I'm sorry, take your time.
We give her her meds. Did Jenn Soto remember this particular night, Jenn Soto said she instructed Madeline to take her meds before Jenn Soto got home. So she told Madeline to take her meds before she got home on this particular night. And what I will say is, I think the reason why she's pausing to grieve, because she starts crying or getting sentimental at this point, after she mentions Madeline taking meds. I find this to be very interesting, as this would be the first time during this interview that Jenn Soto attempts or appears to show any grief or sorrow. And I think that is significant.
We get ready for bed. I'd give her her medications. She would get in the shower.
Take a long shower, I understand.
Like an hour plus, yeah. Okay. And she loved it. She'd get out, she'd get dressed, she'd let her hair towel dry for a while, and then she would brush it. We would watch some TV. She'd probably have a snack before bed as well.
Okay. What were kind of her nighttime uniforms? I mean, everybody kind of has their pajamas, but they're not necessarily pajamas. What was her routine nightwear?
She really liked wearing shorts. So she had a few pajama outfits, but she really liked wearing shorts and baggy t-shirts.
Okay. How about her routine getting ready for school in the morning? What's that about?
We'd wake up. The alarm would start ringing around 7:30. We'd snooze it up until 8 o'clock. Then she'd get up. She'd get dressed. And then she'd lay back down in bed while she would wait for me to make her breakfast.
So she's a breakfast eater?
Yes.
Okay.
She'd have breakfast. Then she would start, with brushing her hair, brushing her teeth, putting on.
I just want to point out that I notice that I do not hear any signs of distress at this point. I don't hear it. I don't hear the crying. Not saying that she's not. I don't hear it. It's as if she's gone back to being more coherent in what she's saying. It doesn't appear that she's struggling to get anything out anymore. But I just wanted to point that out.
Makeup. I would give her ADHD medications for school.
Is that every day or just school days? So it sounds like you're heading out like 8:45 or 9?
Yes.
And it takes like, what'd you say, 15, 20 minutes to get to school?
Yes.
And first bell's 9:38?
9:20.
Something like that?
9:20,
Okay.
yeah.
So on Monday the 26th, 7:30 seems like a really early time to depart to go to middle school, even if you're getting Mickey D's. What was the discussion about when Stefan and Madeline were going to leave on the 26th?
There wasn't.
So you didn't know anything about these plans, or did you? Or
I knew that they were going to go to McDonald's, but not 7 o'clock in the morning. That wasn't.
okay.
I had assumed like 8 o'clock.
And-
But even then, 8 o'clock is kind of early, like 8:30, because you could just go to McDonald's, be done by 9, and then drop her off at school. But McDonald's is right the block away from the school. So
And Madeline's not driving, so she can eat while she's riding.
yeah. So I
And
don't.
she takes about an hour to get ready in the morning?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes.
So if they were leaving at 7:30, you'd think she'd have to get up at 6:30 to get ready and go through a routine, right?
Yeah, that's extremely early.
Okay. And is that what's...
That's not what Stefan said, though. Because Jen's the one who's telling the story here about how long Madeline takes showers. It takes her about an hour for just a shower. So even if she got up, if they were out the door by 7:30, according to Jen's time, Madeline, like the detective said, would have had to get up at 6:30. Stefan said that they woke up around 7. I'm going to go back and listen to the previous interviews to see if Jenn Soto gave a time frame about this McDonald's.
Stefan told you after these events unfolded was that they left early, like 7:30? What did he ever tell you?
It was early. I can't remember the time. I think I dropped her off in front of her school sometime between 8:15 and 8:45.
You say,
What the fuck? I am so sorry, y'all, about my fucking reactions, okay? These reactions are initial reactions because this is my first time watching this damn video, okay? This is a new police interview that I hadn't seen until now. Apparently, this is the most updated one. That shocked the hell out of me. Remember, I made reference to something like this before too with Jenn Soto previously, where I said when she was talking about how Madeline got dropped off, initially she said we dropped her off. And I was like, who the hell is we? Who the hell is we? And now in this interrogation, she's saying I dropped her off between 8:15. The detective was getting ready to say, you said, what do you mean by that?
8:30, because you could just go to McDonald's, be done by 9, and then drop her off at school. But McDonald's is right the block away from the school. So
And Madeline's not driving, so she can eat while she's riding.
Yeah. So I
And she takes about an hour to get ready in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
So if they were leaving at 7:30, you'd think she'd have to get up at 6:30 to get ready and go through a routine, right?
Yeah, that's extremely early.
Okay. And is that what Stefan told you after these events unfolded? Was that they left early, like 7:30? What did he ever tell you?
It was early. I can't remember the time. I think I dropped her off in front of her school sometime between 8:15 and 8:45.
You say I. What do you mean by that? Did you drop her off that morning?
I'm speaking, sorry.
Okay.
As what Stefan was telling me. Stefan let me know that he dropped her off sometime between 8:15 and 8:45 on the road by the church close to her school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking him, why so early? That's too early. School doesn't start until 9:30. Why did you drop her off that early? Oh, I don't know. We just left the house and made good time. I wasn't paying attention to the clock.
Okay. Did Madeline ever have like effects from taking the hydroxyzine in the morning? Like still be kind of sluggish?
Yes.
How often would that occur? Was that like every morning or not every morning?
Not every morning. If we happen to give her medication later than normal than routine, that would happen. But
Okay. And were there ever any instances where she had taken too much of the medicine? Perhaps you and Stefan had given her medicine, not knowing that the other person had?
yes, that's happened.
See, sometimes I believe that even though I understand how these detectives question people, sometimes I feel like they still are saying more than they should be saying. Because they don't realize that they could be putting ideas into people's heads just by the questions that they're asking. Where this person wouldn't have thought about it like that before you asked the question.
Before? Just once or more?
I want to say once.
Okay. Were you taking medicinal marijuana in pill form at any point? Or THC?
Yes.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the police asked you if you were, taking any medication. You offered up the idea. You offered up the fact that you take medicine. But I bet you didn't say anything about THC.
And what do those pills or tablets or capsules look like?
They're purple capsules.
Did you ever suspect or confront Stefan about giving those medications to Madeline?
No.
So during this incident where Madeline had been double dosed with hydroxyzine, do you recall any conversation you had with Stefan and inquiring as to whether or not he had accidentally given her any of your THC?
That hadn't occurred to me. I had asked him the one morning Maddie wouldn't wake up and get ready for school, and she was just out of it. I assumed it was medication related. But I didn't realize, I'm like, did this one medication hit her too hard because we gave it to her late? I called poison control. I needed to see what would happen. Because at this point, I think I had gotten Stefan to admit that he gave her a second dose of the sleeping meds as well, because he thought I had given it to her in the first place.
Okay.
But that was with hydroxyzine. I didn't know anything about THC, the marijuana.
I'm just asking you.
Oh.
I'm asking if you remember having that conversation. There is a conversation on your phone about you were relaying that Madeline said that she suspected that it was different, bigger pills, and you relayed that to Stefan and had a conversation with him. And if you don't remember it because it was a year ago, that's fine. My next question is, you have 2 female roommates,
Yes.
and one of them has a child, a son that sleeps part-time over there.
Yes.
And so my understanding is they're kind of, it's like a, I don't know what to call it, like a bed and breakfast. There's numbers on the doors upstairs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, to make it easier for the roommates, I just labeled each bedroom.
So they're in 2 and 3.
Yes.
All right. Now, bedroom number 4. At one point, you told the police that your sister was staying with you, and that's why the sleeping arrangements were as they were. Was your sister ever staying with you, or did I misunderstand what you said?
No, my sister wasn't staying with me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. At what point did Madeline's bedroom kind of become the living room? When did that setup start?
I think as soon as a few months into us moving back into that townhouse.
And when would that have been?
Let's say June of sometime in 2022, but I'm not sure when.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's December of 2022 that you and Stefan kind of break up,
Yes.
but he still remains in the townhome.
Yes.
Why is that?
So even though we were broken up, I still considered him one of my best friends. I wanted to give him the opportunity to live there, and he had gotten a job at Disney that was doing well.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to continue to lose that because he had been struggling for a long time to get a job or do anything with his own mental health issues.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give him a chance to do something, be something. So
Did he pay rent?
yes,
How much rent did he pay?
$600 a month.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Here from
No footsies.
like long ways.
So in December of 2022, kind of when the breakup happens, prior to that, what were the sleeping arrangements in your home? Was he sleeping in your bedroom as a couple?
Yes.
So who's in bedroom number 4, if anybody?
I think that room remained empty for a while. For a little bit, there was another roommate there, but it remained empty for the most part.
And were your female roommates already there in 2 and 3?
Yes.
Why doesn't Madeline have that bedroom 4?
I wanted her to have bedroom 4, but my dad really wanted rent. That whole unit that I live in is owned by my father.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
What? So let me get this straight. Stefan moves out. The room is empty. Oh, excuse me. The roommate that was staying in number 4 moves out. The room is empty. The baby was sleeping downstairs in the living room because the other 2 rooms in the house were occupied by the other roommates. So you're telling me that instead of giving Maddie her own room, You leave her where she's at in the living room because your father wants the money for each room. And if Maddie stayed in that room, Maddie can't pay for her own room. And I wonder what the father has to say about this. Are you saying that your father wouldn't have been okay with this baby having her own room? You got your own room in the house, Jenn. If anything, Stephanie ass should have been sleeping in the fucking living room. And Maddie should have had a room where she could have locked the door. And nobody could get in. Are you fucking kidding me? How is this an excuse for a girl? Your baby. Even the little boy of one of the roommates was in the room with his mother. So Maddie couldn't have her own room and it was your dad's house? What kind of shit is that? Are you trying to tell us that your father is that hard up for fucking money that this baby had to live in the house without having her own room for the sake of him getting his dollars from paying renters?
Do you pay your father anything to live there, or does he just handle collecting the rent from your rentees, lessees, whatever they are?
I pay him rent as well.
Okay. What do you pay for the rent?
My portion of the rent was $400 a month.
All right. And what do the two female roommates pay?
$850 and $650.
Okay. Prior to Madeline having her own bedroom set up in the living room, where was she sleeping in that townhome?
In my bed with me.
Okay.
It could also be possible that Maddie was sleeping in bedroom number 4 and Jenn... Never mind. So Maddie's the only one who does not have her own room in Jenn Soto's father's house. His granddaughter is the only person in the house that does not have her own fucking room. Is this not odd to anybody? That his grandbaby is the only one who does not have her own room in this house. Because the living room is the living room. I don't give a fuck if she did have a bed in there. That's the living room. She can't lock herself in the living room. But she can lock herself in the room.
And this is during a time frame when you were together with Stefan. So is it the three of you every night?
Well, when we had first moved in, it was just me and Maddie. So it was just me and her on the bed. Then I think we eventually got...
If it was just you and Maddie when y'all first moved in, why the fuck didn't Maddie have her own fucking room? She couldn't have chose either one of those rooms. This is your father's house, Jenn.
Got her own bedroom. Stefan moves in eventually, and then, yeah, at that point, it does become the three of us on the bed.
So Madeline's 12, and she has her own bedroom. How often is she sleeping in her own bed alone?
Hardly. She doesn't like sleeping alone. And she doesn't like the living room. It's too big, too quiet. She says it'd be too dark and then there would be spiders. She would see spiders, so.
So you say hardly. Were there ever nights where she just slept alone in her bed? Or was it 100%? Because there's a difference between hardly ever and 100% to me.
If she ever slept on that bed, it was like once.
Okay. All right. So now you've broken up with Stefan in December of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still paying rent, and he's there full-time in bedroom number 4. Is that where he goes after you break up?
No, he stayed in my room for a few months. We had broken up, but we weren't sure how to discuss it with Maddie because it was the middle of the school year, and I didn't want to affect her in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So we just played it off, acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then when she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
Okay. And once he moved up to bedroom 4, were there instances where Madeline would sleep alone upstairs with him?
So this is the reason why I'm really having trouble with this lady, y'all. I don't understand why she gets so hemmed up on these absolutely significant fucking questions. Okay? She be taking deep fucking breaths. She takes forever to answer the question, so I can tell she's thinking about what she's going to say. And I'm trying to figure out why these questions are so fucking hard for her to answer. So at this point, we know that according to Jenn Soto, it wasn't until Madeline finally catches on that her and Stefan, that Jennifer and Stefan are no longer together. And Jennifer says at that point, Stefan moves out of her room and into the guest bedroom number 4. So now we know she allowed him to stay in the house, live in the house after they broke up. So the next question the detective says is, at what point does Madeline start sleeping with Stefan in that bedroom number 4? And she can't, it's hard for her to answer the question.
Maddie, because it was the middle of the school year, and I didn't want to affect her in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So we just played it off, acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then when she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
Okay. And once he moved up to bedroom 4, were there instances where Madeline would sleep alone upstairs with him?
I'm gonna say
I want you to think carefully before you answer, because obviously we've gone through your phone and we've seen all the conversations that you've had with
I'm trying to figure out, if she don't got nothing to hide and she telling the fucking truth, why can't she answer this goddamn question? Why is it that when she gets ready to respond, she says, I'm gonna say? Does that mean that's really what it is? Or does that mean that's what you're willing to say? Because she's really thinking about this damn question. mind you, this is the mother who said that the reason why she wouldn't allow her daughter to have sleepovers is because she knows the type of things that will go on. She gave the excuse as to why Madeline couldn't go over to her friend's house to have a sleepover, because she don't know the father and she don't know the brothers and she knows what kind of stuff could happen. But she never went into explanation as to why the friends couldn't come over to stay with Madeline. But she can allow her baby to go upstairs and sleep with Stefan alone, even after they have broken up. You know why I think this is a fucking lie? You know why I think she's coming up with something on the spot? Because let me tell you something. If you are a mother who is adamantly against allowing your baby girl to go over to other people's house because you don't know the brothers, you don't know the fathers, okay? And you know what goes on at sleepovers, you would have that same mentality in your own fucking house as it pertains to men. Because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about men. A boy will grow to be a man. A father is already a man. You mean to tell me you have a problem with her sleeping over at other people's house because they may have boys or they may have a man in the house? But you got a fucking man in the house. And you don't share that same mentality? Let me tell you something about me. I'm gonna have that mentality about any fucking man that is not my child's father. Any man, whether we dating or not.
As a father would. He had been in her life for more than half of it, playing the father role. I thought he cared for her the way I did.
Now, does there come a point in time in 2023 where you've kind of had enough of roommate ex-boyfriend Stefan and ask him to hit the road?
Yes.
And is that fair to say it was like October?
Maybe like the end of October, because then I gave him all of November and told him he had to be out by December 1st kind of thing. But yeah, that sounds about right.
And then did you kind of ask him to leave a month earlier and it was a source of arguments?
Yes.
Okay. So now at this point in time when he's being asked to leave, have you had any conversation with Maddie that mommy isn't together with Stefan anymore and this is kind of the ways of the world? Do you have that conversation with her?
She had, by June, she figured it out already, so she knew we weren't together or anything like that. So she, by December, yes, she had already known he was leaving and
okay.
the house.
Why is he coming back to visit after he's out?
We're still friendly with each other at this point. Christmas is coming up, and we wanted to spend Christmas together. So he comes up for a few days during Christmas, and then he does visit a few more times after that, but for the day, and it's to pick up packages. He keeps getting mail delivered to my house, packages, so he just comes up and picks them up.
And when he comes to visit after he's been kind of kicked out, is he paying rent or how is this working? Or is he just coming to visit?
He just comes to visit.
He's your father.
Ho. Because I know where the detective is going with this question. You mean to tell me that your father wanted money for every room in the fucking house